Hey! Start off is a 1989 Honda Civic DX sedan. Doesn't come with anything power. From the factory, the car weighed about, I think, exactly 2,020 pounds. Don't know what it weighs now. I have stripped a lot of things out of it, but as much as I've stripped things out of it, I've also added things to it, like the roll cage and, you know, a slightly bigger motor and rear disc and all my little metal Aero stuff. So what we got going on here right now is pretty much just a stock JDM B16A2 SIR with the matching tranny. It has a Skunk 2 Virgin 2 header, which is the one with the really good clearance. Have a Fluidine radiator from AEG. Made a custom bracket to make it fit. This awesome fan here I got from the homies in Twin Falls. They hooked me up the last time I was coming up with the car, and my fan stopped working, so shout out to those guys for that again. The intake box is all homemade by me. Bought the filter, pretty much just made the aluminum box with the rivets. It's sealed on the inside with silicone. As you can see, these are all fit-ins from a plumbing store. Had it, never leaks. I think that thing cost me about $6. I bought the replica gritty catch can and just went ahead and just fabricate my little thing here. The only reason why it's still on this car, not necessarily because I need it, because when I swapped the motor with my friend and got this, he wanted his valve cover, and it's the only one I had, so that's why I put it back on here. It doesn't hurt to have it. It's pretty okay. The strut bar is Skunk 2. Intake manifold is a Blocks with the 68mm throttle body to match it. Fuel regulator. The master is from DA 1993 Integra. If you see here, you see a reservoir for the clutch. That's because this car is not cable anymore. It has a hydro conversion. Hash sport motor mounts. Full race traction bar. I've had that since 2006. The hood itself, yes. As you can see, I do my custom stuff. It's cut here for airflow coming from the header. This is also cut to get direct air into the my custom cold here. This piece is from Home Depot. It's pretty much the piece that you put in your house for your AC vent, and I just cut it to make it nice. And then that one I just kind of cut by hand and add the little strip to it. Moving along to the front bumper. It's a 89, but the bumper is a 90-91. You can tell the difference by this molding here, and then the 88-89 has the molding that you could put the little stripe in if you want to. That's an easy giveaway right away. And I also have the 90-91 filler to match the bumper, because on the 88-89 the filler is like really smaller, so if I put this bumper on, you'll see that gap there. Yeah, custom front brake light. Yes, a lot of people probably be like, you don't need that, that's stupid, yada yada yada. To each their own. I put it there because I like to utilize it on track days. I had a track day back in Florida once, and for some reason when I have track day with push boxers, man, these guys just, they don't like me too much, in the sense of like, my car is not very fast, but I drive it very aggressively, and I utilize every single, you know, power and grip that it has. And those guys, you know, they have nice cars, and though they have nice cars, they might not be the best driver, but my driving skill makes up for their very expensive cars, and they don't like to see the shitbox chasing them down. So my last incident, literally for about 6 laps, I'm chasing down these these damn planes. That's what happens when you live close to the airport. Living really close to Seattle Airport. Anyway, so these guys are chasing me. I mean, I'm chasing these guys down for about 6 laps. Like, I can clearly pass them in the turns, whereas on straightaways, you know, they'll get away a little bit, but the track doesn't really have that much straightaway. This is the firm back in Florida, Starks, Florida. And man, these guys would just give me a hard time. They wouldn't let me go by. And if you know, you guys do track days, you know the rules that you don't pass a car unless they give you the wave by. You can, but if they see you, they can kick you off the track, because track days are not supposed to be competitive. They're supposed to be for practicing and having a good time. But these guys wouldn't let me by, and I didn't want to pass them and then, you know, get kicked off, and I spent all my money. So I mean, I got really, really aggressive on them, to the point where I almost ran one of them in the back, because I was just getting more aggressive to let them know, hey, you know, I can pass you, let me pass. And I got so close to him at one point, I almost hit him in the back. And then after the next 2 turns, he let me go by. So ever since that day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this brake light on, so when I'm in tense competition like that, these guys can see behind me. If I'm on their ass and the brake light's not on, that means I can go faster, so let me by. So that was my main reason for putting it on. Aside from the fact that, you know, to me it looks cool, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever, to each their own. But that wasn't the real reason. It wasn't like a cool factor thing to put it on. It's just a bonus. That was my real reason for putting it on. Obviously, I don't really need it in the street, or if I'm doing a mountain run or whatever, but it's still nice to have it for when I'm chasing people. They can tell if, you know, if I'm using my brakes or not. You know, that's really all it is. There's no real big purpose for it. So that's a long explanation for that. Now, what I have going on here is aluminum, which runs all the way around here for the lip. This is carbon fiber. I've used plywood before from Home Depot, but this carbon fiber piece I got from a friend. It's actually from a NASCAR, and I cut it to fit this. Behind here, there are L brackets holding this to this. This is not actually attached to the chassis, it's attached to this, and then this is attached to here. Then for support, I add this piece, which come down, curve under, holds this, then comes up here, and then it's attached to the bumper, and then I made the canard as well, which, you know, for extra downforce. So that's the entire front end setup that's going on right there. For the wheels, they're Wed Sports. I believe the offset's plus 32 or 35. I forgot, somewhere around there. They're 4x1 100, not 4x114, and they're universal. As you can see in there, I have a 15 mil spacer. If I straighten the wheel out, look at the front and the back, you can't really tell it's poking. The reason for that is that I slowly pull this with the pliers, the fender, roll and pulled it, so it just comes out enough to where you can't even tell that there's spaces on the front. So what's going on right now, the front track is literally wider than the rear, even though these tires are 205/50 15s. They're the RE11, which are being discontinued. They're being replaced now by the RE71, I believe. So when I have money, I'll get a fresh set of those, because these are pretty much done. So the tire is the same size all around, the rim the same size all around, but because of 15 mil spacers up front, it gives the front a little bit wider traction, which you need for front wheel drive cars, because they tend to understeer, and I don't like understeer. I prefer to oversteer because I can control that. Brakes are the, not your typical GSR, which are 10.2 in circumference. These are actually the last gen Prelude and Type R, which are 11.1 with the bracket and the caliper. If you back it up and see, you can tell they're a little bit bigger What I did, because those cars are both 5-lug, and you notice this is 4-lug. So what I did on the 96 Prelude, oh my God, another plane. Stop it. Anyway, what I did was the 96 Prelude, the last year they made that body before they went to the 97, which was the last one. They actually went from a 10.2, which is the same size as GSR, to 11.1, but that one was 4x114. So I got that disc in a power slot version and re-drilled it, because it's easier to re-drill a 4x114 versus the 5x100, and that's how I got it to be a 4-lug instead. For those out there, you can use the Mini Cooper. It's the same 4x100, but instead of being 11.1, I think it's just 11.0, so it's a little bit smaller around. And what'll happen, if you can see here, see that little lip that I have from extra where the actual pad grooves in? I think on the Mini Cooper you won't have that, because it'll just be right at the edge. So you know, your preference. It'll be easier for you to install that versus this, so whichever way you want to go. I found that out before I found about the Mini thing, so this works for me. Stencil, these tires don't come with stencil. I have a plotter, which is not here right now. It's currently in Florida, but I make my own stencil and I paint them on, and they last. As you can see, they're not coming off. It's all I have to do is just wipe it when it gets really dirty sometimes. One of the favorite things that most people like, my race fender. So you know, I cut it out completely, then I cut this piece, shaped it nicely, then cut inside that piece again, shape it nicely, curve it in, and then rivet this on so it looks nicer. Then put the little strip on there, just a little detail. Then made my custom CRX 4-door sticker, which everyone knows about by now. I'll probably explain that a little bit later for those who might be seeing this for the first time and be like, CRX 4-door, okay, what? But whatever. And then this part here, most people, what they do down here, they'll cut this completely off, which, you know, the whole function is to get the hot here from back here out, so it gets the job done. But others will cut it and fold it and it'll be flimsy. But what I did, so it's sturdy as you can see, is I cut it, fold it, but I made 2 support brackets, one here and one here, and riveted to this, riveted to that, riveted to this, riveted to that, so it's pretty solid. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to go in detail explaining this, because I would probably have to take it apart to show you that. Right along, no mirror, delete, easy little bracket I made, no big deal. These are from eBay, no biggie again, just paint match the car. Put all 4 of them on, put my little logo on it. Moving right along. So another thing, as you can see here, my door can open. A lot of people, when they see this for the first time, they're like, oh, I didn't know you can open that. So all I did here, it's pretty much riveted to the door, but I cut the shape and then use my hands to just kind of fold it the way I want to. So it's just like a little Aero piece, kind of get the air to just kind of flow around the wheel instead of directly on it at high speed. It's a stock B16, but this thing is always, you know, screaming at high RPMs. And not to mention, before the stock B16 was in there, I had the built GCR putting out 214, 142, and that thing used to go over 150 easily all the time. So Aero wise, I needed stuff like that. So yeah, nothing too aggressive, something simple, you know, nice little detail. Rear, what's going on for the rear? Pretty simple. They're just GSR rears on both sides. Oh, and the pads, oh, I forgot to tell you about the pads. The pads in the rear are the same in the front. They're Hawk blue racing pads. Really awesome pads, by the way. Love them on my second set. Wouldn't change them for anything. And in the rear are power slots as well. Oh, the brake lines, I forgot to talk about that. They're steel braided front and rear as well. So the side exhaust, the main reason for the side exhaust, aside from the fact that now it's like, you know, iconic and it looks cool as shit, you know, that's just my opinion. Cool wasn't the idea I was going for originally when I put it on here. What happened is that I have this rear diffuser all the way under the car, all the way to the lower control arm. Hopefully this can show it very well. And as you can see, the exhaust is supposed to come across here and come out, so there's no room for it. So what I was thinking was, originally I was gonna run it out the side here, but it would have came out too low and scratched. So then my next option was to run it through the car, through here, and through the door. But when I priced that, it was gonna be too costly to have it coming out here. So then I was like, all right, well, I don't want to dump it under the car. So I came up with the next best thing is to run it back here like it's supposed to. But instead of going out that way, just cut it out the side here. And that was definitely more cost effective and kind of gave me the same result of having the exhaust out the way of the diffuser. And it's connected to a high flow universal exhaust under the car, which is also a 2-inch straight through. Pretty much all it does is just quieten it down a little bit. So it goes from the header to the 2.5 universal muffler, and then 2.5 all the way to the 3, and then the little bracket here, you know, for all the smoke effect that it does right here. This is nothing special. This part broke, the screw that holds it, and I had a screw there, and then I got tired of the screw, and I don't know, I just got bored and I just put that there. It holds it. This car is not a show car, so I don't care. It just adds character to the car. The infamous rear wing. So this wing has been through a few stages. As you can see, these rivets here, this was the original placement of the wing, and pretty much I cut the wing, I put it on, it folded all the way out to here, and then it came straight across like this with no shape. What I did after for like the second upgrade, if you can see right there, there's a little cut in the body. I went ahead and cut this curve into it while it was on the car to make it look, you know, a little bit more like the charge speed that everyone thinks it is, but it's not. Oh my God, these planes! Stop flying by! And then the third time, I was like, you know what, I don't like it being out here anymore. I wanted to follow the roof line, so then I took it off, rebend it because it was bent to about out here, and then rebend it again, then cut it here. It still already had the curve in it, then cut it here and then put it back on. So that was, what's that, that was the third setup. For the fourth setup, after I made the bat wing for my friend Cameron on his hatch, I went ahead, I dubbed it the bat wing just because I just feel like calling it bat wing, because it has these fins here. I went ahead and I did the same thing to mine. I went ahead and I had the fins. Pretty much what this does, it's not really a support for the wing because the wing's already supported pretty good. There's rivets holding it across here, as you can see this and that. It has supports under here, so that thing's not going anywhere. But this helps the airflow that comes along the side, just kind of like, you know, flows pretty good. You can, I never tested in a wind tunnel or whatever, but you can just use common sense and you can look at newer production cars that are hatchbacks and minivans. If you notice these rear wings, they always have this little flap coming down the side. It's for better airflow. So I used common sense and just applied it. I can't tell you 100% if this little piece makes a big difference or not. I honestly can't tell you. I can tell you though that the wing itself have made some difference for the car above 90 miles per hour, because I've noticed since I've put it on from back in the day when the car was way faster, once I hit 90, it felt a little bit more sturdier. Then the additional piece is this, it's a universal piece you buy on eBay. You can pretty much has double side tape, and you can kind of, a lot of people use it for the little rear deck here. So I went ahead and just cut a nice shaped piece out and put it at the tip, just to give it that little extra flow. I have my tow hooks always put away. It works, it's functional. You don't see it because I don't need to use it. Where this came from, this idea came from, is that I am a big fan of the Ferrari Testarossa. And there's two things on this car that I took from there, this being one of them. If you ever look at the back of a Testarossa, it's all red across, and then you have these black lines, which are not stickers on the lights, it's actual physical plastic, but this gives the illusion of the same thing. So that's where that came from. I should probably put a picture here. So that's where that idea came from. As you can see, it doesn't really show anymore, but this light is left clear. There's no black stripes over it because it's the reverse light. This one's covered up because I don't use it as a reverse light. I use it as the European style rear fog light that comes on the CRX. It used to be red from the red paint, but because it's always on with the daytime running light, it kind of burned the red paint away back to clear. I'll turn it on real quick. As you can see, it's always on. And as you can see over here, this is black. I know you noticed that. Those are the reflections on the American cars. And again, it's just little subtle little things that I do to my car to make it different. Because I have this light over here, I don't like the fact that when this light comes on, it washes this out. So to kind of see the separation, I painted the reflection here black. And obviously I do it to one side, I do it to other. So this way when I turn this light on, you can see that there's a difference. Where that light's on, there's a separation, and then you can see the rear fog light. And over here, there's, you know, just a reverse light and then just a regular light. My battery's back here. It's sturdy. It's not going anywhere. It's bolted down. That's a Gap leather belt, by the way. I worked there for like 10 years, which is holding that. And then I have my spare. You can see here where I tapped into the rear brake light, which is connected to the brake light up front. All I did was run the wire back here, tapped into that, and that's how simple it was. It was nothing big. Just tapped into it, and then I put a ground up front, and that's how I have a rear brake. Oh, and then for the reverse light, I kind of did the same thing too, where I tapped into it and ran a wire to the ignition. So once the ignition is on, this light's always on. So that's how I did those two lights. Nothing special. I'm not an electrician. I don't really know nothing special. Just, again, common sense. While I'm back here, I'm gonna give a shout out. Shout out to Skunk 2, Brandon, for always looking out, hooking it up. Get the fat hookups. Shout out to Highway Star Garage. That's Manny and Ramon down in Orlando, Florida. They hooked me up with a GoPro. Cool dudes. Knew them from way back in the day. Before I was doing GGM, before they were doing their thing, we were always car guys. We used to always hang out. Much love to those guys. And obviously, shout out to me right here, Gavin Gardner Motor Works, which is me and Cam, even though I'm the one here right now. And the official motto, I'd rather be racing. So those are the shout outs to all the sponsors. And yes, I sponsor GGM because I am a part of GGM. I mean, I'm sponsored by GGM, whatever. I said that backwards. I'm Jamaican. You guys should know this by now. Okay, so now for the inside, the roll cage. Before I get to the roll cage, what you see here is just a piece of aluminum that I cut and just riveted so you can, you know, not see in the back, you know, just kind of clean it up a little bit. And plus the battery's back there, you kind of want to have it away. I've noticed the rivets have fallen out of the bottom part, so I'm gonna have to reinstall those, but whatever. So this was a universal roll bar. It just came with a universal hoop, which I got from a friend, Pop, all version, back in Orlando. Giving you a shout out, Pop. And it came with the bars. Then I gave it to a friend, Chris Leon, who makes roll cages for a living since like the 80s. He's been racing, and I made him a bunch of stickers and in trade off to do the work to weld this in. So $200 for the cage from Pop and traded sticker to get him welded it in. So he went ahead to cut the hoop. The hoop was already bent, so you know it's not as close as I want it to be because it's universal, but for what I pay and for how it performs, I'm happy with it. So he went ahead, welded the hoop in, and then he weld a 4-point, and then he welded the next 2 points to make it a 6-point, but a 6-point half cage. Not a 6-point full cage, as you can see. In the roof, what's going on here is history. History is going on in here. Since this car has been up and running, even previous to it running, it started running again back in 2009. Had it since 2005. There's been a lot of stickers in here. Most of them are original. Most of them being made by Adil, the sticker guy. I'll still give him a shout out, even though we're not on good terms. Not gonna get into details about that. For those of you who know me, kind of know what happened. For the rest of the world, don't worry about it. I'll still give him his respect. One of my favorite sticker here is the track days, because show cars are for pussies. Nice stance. Oh, this sticker here, JJ Mosley, that was installed there when I went to Twin Falls. Shout out to that guy. He passed away in the community, and his homies installed a sticker in this car when I was there. FF Drift, Adil, that's Adil. If you know Adil, that's his logo right there. That's my friend Jenny from way back in the day. That's me. EF Squad, shout out. I mean, there's a bunch of stickers under here. Hot chick. Everybody loves a hot chick. Shout out to Obama. Even though he might be a socialist, or is he hope? Ha ha ha. A little bit of humor there. But yeah, a bunch of different stuff in here. History. Yep, warning, choking hazard, stuck in the D. Stay fresh. That's the roots of Simply Clean. Obviously there's Simply Clean in here too, right there. Shout out to Simply Clean. What's up, Nick? And I'm still too old for this shit, but I love it. It's all good. My little Jamaican shoes, it's always here representing that I'm Jamaican. And my ride or die partner right there, one and only Mr. KONI. So that's what's going on. My seat is a Yomex. It's a European brand. It's nothing fancy. Gets the job done, as you can see. It's ripped to shit from multiple use. This pillow, $475, I bought from Walmart the last time I was driving across America, because the support is pretty much done now. But with this, it feels like a brand new seat. Yum yum yum. Excuse me. Helmet, always riding with me just in case I need to do things that I'm questionable about. I'll put it on for safety. That's right, guys. I'm big on safety, even though it doesn't look like I am. What else on the inside? I cut this part of the door panel off, not to save weight. I'm not really saving much. It's because I took the rear ones off already. But you know, being Jamaican, when I drive, I like to hang my hand on the window, like when I'm chilling, and I didn't want to scratch my hand up, so I have the top part for support. And then after I did that, I realized I like the way it looked. I wish I did it nicer, but you know, I don't really care. It's a race car. CRX dash, as you guys can see, one of the most popular things about this car. GSR cluster, reason being because I had the GSR motor in it, but it's not in it anymore. Gauges, oil and water, which don't work anymore. Those were connected to the last motor because that was a built motor. So once I put this motor in, I just didn't connect them, but it was already there, so I left it. Fire extinguisher, just in case I need it. USB, because in today's world, you know, you just gotta charge your phones and charge your GoPros, so this wasn't in here, so I had to put that back in. This broad mirror is from Pep Boys, $14.99. The infamous motorcycle mirror. So this is the second thing that's inspired by the Ferrari Testarossa. It's called the mountain mirror in the Ferrari Testarossa, and I'll put a picture here. But the idea didn't originate from that. It became secondary because I had both mirrors, one here and one there, and one broke, and I didn't want to buy another set, even though they're only 30 bucks. They're CBR motorcycle mirrors from a Honda, and I was just lazy to buy another set and wait in the mail, so I went ahead and took the brackets out off the broken one. I didn't want to just have one mirror hanging off right here. I was like, man, that's kind of dumb. So I took it off, and then I started thinking about mounting it somewhere, and that's when the mount mirror came about. So I put it here, I checked it out, I was like, oh shit, I like it, and it's been there ever since then. It's a signature thing of the car now, so I love it. It was accidental and inspirational, and it worked out. So the ignition setup, there's questions about how I wire it. I started to wire it, but I didn't finish it, so the official work was done by a good friend back in the day, known as Ducky. He's a European guy in the Euro scene, but he's real good with electronics. I kind of had an idea what I was doing, but it wasn't going the way I want to. And I could have finished it, but I was lazy. And just because I know he knows how to do it, I was like, hey man, just finish this for me, and he did. So I can't really tell you guys the full details of exactly how this is wired, so I'm sorry for that. As you guys will learn, the more you get to know me, you'll realize that I'm more of a driver than anything else. I am not really a builder or an electrician or whatever. The only thing I really like to do, I'm really passionate about outside of driving, is fabricating my parts, because they don't make anything for these cars. But outside of that, everything else I do because I'm poor, and it's cheaper for me to figure it out myself. If I had money, I'll pay someone to do it, honestly. I just love driving. I'm a driver. I'm that guy. If I had the money, I'll just be like, listen, this is what I want, this is how I want it, build it, and I'll just take it and I'll drive it. And when something ain't right, I'll be like, hey, fix this that way, blah 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 blah. I know, sounds like a rich guy, but not necessarily want to be a rich guy. It's just, you know, I just love driving. I just want to drive. I won't do anything else. Anyway, so this is the kill, pretty much like a kill switch. When this is off, the car has no power at all. This is killing the battery. The battery wire runs here and it runs to this, and then from this back to where it gives power to the car. So now this is on. Now there is power to the car, has batteries. You see that came on. So now I can flip. You can hear the fuel pump. So that, you know, that means there's power to the car, see? And but yeah, that's that. And I got my custom bracket here for the switches, no AC and all that good stuff. The foot mount, as you can see, yep, I made that myself too. It's not a factory one. That's all DIY. Foot mount. And so I can do proper heel toe. You notice here I have this little attachment, this little pedal attachment, so the brake and gas can be closer. Now when you heel toe, you go like this, and then you use your heel to tap it. But you know, sometimes it's a far stretch, so when I have this piece being closer, it's no longer really a heel toe. It's just, you know, kind of like a tap like that, because that's not really my heel. If that wasn't there, I'd have to more so push my heel all the way over, but it's easier this way for me just to brake and just tap it because it's right there. So that's the reason for having that. That works for me. Doesn't necessarily work for everyone, but for beginners I do recommend you try it. It's easier to heel toe that way. When you have them closer together, you just and you're good to go. That's that. So I think that's it for the interior. Oh yeah, my harness. Well, yeah, nothing special. These poor things are beat to shit. Safe Quip I've had for a while. They're a 4-point, and that's that. So what else can I talk about? Oh yeah, on this side, the other side of the car has the exhaust over there, so it looked unbalanced. So after a while I made this little you know, air bracket. You know, it kind of balances the car, and it's also functional. The air comes in and it comes out, so that's kind of like a nice little, you know, detail to balance the car out. The side skirt's actually from a 94 to 2000 Integra. I believe I took this one off the sedan or the coupe. Don't remember which one, because I think one's a little bit longer than one, but either way, that's the car it came from. And most people, you don't really notice it because it looks so normal. It's nothing aggressive. It looks like it belonged there. It looks factory. And pretty much all I did was just cut it up and rivet it in. You know, I cut it to make it fit and rivet it in. See, it's cut up and riveted in. This part's a little off, but it's okay because this part's covering it up. See, that covers it up just nice, and that looks good. Oh yeah, one more thing on the inside I forgot to talk about. The shifter is a Buddy Club shifter, Circuit Hero extender, skunk to shift knob. The e-brake is factory but custom a couple of times. I had a longer bracket welded to it, if you see some of my older videos, because I like to utilize my e-brake, and it was just easy to, like, you know, just kind of move my hand over and just pull it, kind of like on a drift car. But I realized after a while, being that it's not hydraulic, it wasn't really working out that well, because I would have to yank it too much because it went so far up to get it to lock up unless I made it hydraulic. So then I went ahead and just took the top part off and just kind of did this kind of craziness that I have going on here. And as you can see, it doesn't have the button, so I can just go like that and release it whenever I want to. And how I get it to lock, because the spring system is taken out, like this, and then this part down here, see, the spring is what used to hold this, but then I just do it manually by hand like that, and then it stays up. And that's how that works. This is my Walmart mount. It's like 10 bucks. This mount has done a lot of justice for me. Every time I come in my car, my phone's here, I do everything with it. Always invest in one of these. These are good to have. I also use it as like a backup GoPro when I use my phone to record. It's amazing. 10 bucks. Get it at Walmart. If you don't have a GoPro, you can still make videos with your phone and one of these mounts. Trust me. Anyway, so shut up, airplane. How the one wiper business work, as you can see here, the wiper mount is here, and this is the second one. So this is actually supposed to be going that way, and this is supposed to be going this way. Hello.
You fix your car?
Yeah, I'm making a video.
Oh,
I have a YouTube channel. It's a GoPro. I have a YouTube channel and I'm making a video about the car, like a walk around.
Around, yes. My son, yes, have, but it's what had happened and special camera.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's always
recording. Yeah,
recording.
it's for safety when you get into accidents.
Yes. And
oh, in Russia, right? Because you're Russian?
Russian.
Yes,
Russian.
you guys have that over there all the time,
Yes,
the dash cams. Yeah,
Yes,
because the accidents over there are crazy.
Yeah, oh my goodness, always accidents. And he have security alarm 3.
Oh, 3? Oh my God.
And you have
none. No security.
If anybody steal your car,
Well,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I'm sorry, it's your problem.
I know, it's it's not that special of a car. They won't want to steal it. It's all homemade. Look at this. It's all made from pieces. No one wants to
Maybe
steal
at
this.
the 9 I try to.
I wouldn't mind. I would like to see you drive this. Can you drive stick?
I can, but I not bring driver's license. Need special lessons.
Here.
Here, no.
Oh, okay. Well, tell you what. One of these days, for fun, we can go to a parking lot. We can go to a parking lot and have you drive around.
I'm joking. I'm not driving.
Have a good day.
I go to the
Okay.
to the fitness club.
Fitness club? Gonna work out?
It's La Fitness.
Okay, LA Fitness. All right, good job. See you later. Okay, so yeah, that's my I guess you'd call that my neighbor. So I'm here in Washington and I really haven't gotten my house yet like I wanted to. Things are just not really working out, so it is what it is. It's life. So I'm just renting a room right now, and this wonderful old Russian lady that I can't really understand half the time. Hope you guys have understood half the things you just said. She's a darling. She's always talking to me, always cooking, always offering me food. Yeah, so she's my neighbor. So boom, there's that. So back to my one wiper. So yeah, so what I did here was originally I took out my wiper because years ago when I built this car in Florida, I had no clue I was coming here. So I literally took everything out of this damn car. The weather strip, like everything was just gone. I had a garage, then I had a house. So I would just leave it in the garage, and when it's playtime, I'll take it out, play with it, and put it back. So I wasn't really worried about rain and all that stuff. Once I knew I was coming here in 2013, then I was like, oh shit, it rains here. I might want to put a couple things back on. So I put the weather strip back in, and definitely the wiper, mandatory here. So everything was out, so I had to go source a motor and then put back into assembly in here because I had took that out. Literally, I took everything out. And I didn't want to put both back in, and I was like, I'm gonna do the one wiper, but I didn't want to do the typical one wiper of the, the whole half and half, because it was just, I just didn't like it. For some reason, again, little details, I like the wiper to be completely on this side because it looks weird, because it looks like it's supposed to be a right-hand drive going that way. But all I did was pretty much wired the wiper manually, so when I turn the wiper off, it doesn't go in a set position. It cuts off wherever I cut it off at. I'll do a little demonstration right now. So power, this is the wiper switch right here. So as you can see, when I turn it on, that's it. So it just wipes on my side. And if I turn it off here, it stops there. If I turn it off there, it stops there. So then I wait till it go down here and turn it off. And off. So that's it. So all I did was just position it, unbolted, position it where I want it to land when it goes full max that way, which was down there, and then just wire it, and then I stop it wherever I want to. And that's how you do a one wiper the GGM way. Yes, it might be a little finicky because when you turn it off, it don't stop exactly where you want to, but you come to know about the GGM way. Everything's very like cavemanish, very simple. There's no high tech going on here, but it all works. So I get the results that I want. I just have to take a little bit more work to get it. I'm okay with that. I think I'm officially done now. Got my old logo when I had my dreads right there, the GGM logo. CRX 4-door. I kind of explained in a video when I went to the EF meet what the whole CRX 4-door is about, but I'll just give another brief explanation if no one else has seen that video. I do get shit for this, not a lot, but I still get shit for it. Oh, there's no such thing as a CRX 4-door. Why do you call it a CRX 4-door? Blah, 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 blah. Most people don't care and or they get it. Planes, shut up. Again, most people, like I said, either don't care or they get it, but there's a percentage that really get pissed off. So let me try to let them understand. As a car guy, most car guys name their cars. I'm pretty sure there's someone watching right now that is saying, what the fuck, why did he name that car CRX 4-door? Well, I'm gonna turn to you, sir or ma'am, and ask you, why do you name your car whatever you name it? Whether it be Betsy, Susie, Jackie, or if it's a girl, Johnny, whatever, like, right? So when you ask me that, I'm gonna turn around and ask you the same question, and you're probably gonna turn to me and go, well, that's what I want to call my car. And I'm gonna go, exactly, this is what I want to call my car. Why? Because I prefer to name my car a name that sounds more like a production name. I don't want to name it a person's name. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's just my preference. That's just my style. Reason number one. Reason number two is that in today's world, in today's market, sedans, whether it be a compact or full-size sedans are cool sports cars now. You got muscle sedans, you got sporty sedans, from the Hemi stuff, from the the SI sedan, from the Mercedes CLS, like sports coupe. Sedan coupe like sports cars are really popular and really cool now. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, when you had a sedan, that was a grocery getter. That was a family car. That was not a sporty car. Now, this chassis is the same as the CRX. You have the CRX, the hatchback, and the wagon, and you have the sedan. My idea was it would have been cool if back then there was a 4-door sedan sporty car. And being that the CRX was the sportiest of the lineup, then hence the CRX 4-door. So that's where the combination of both ideas come from, where I call this car the CRX 4-door. It's something that I thought would have been cool to be done way before, back in the day. Now that it's cool now, and I also wanted to name it something that was more of a production name and stood out more often. Like if I'm hashtagging this car Betsy all day long, like, if the car is known, so they'll kind of know, hey, it's Betsy or whatever the hell I choose to call it. But it's CRX 4-door. That's more unique. You know exactly what car that is. Like whether you're here in America or overseas or wherever, I am pretty confident that now when someone hears this name, CRX 4-door, only one car comes to mind, is this car. So, that's another reason to name it that way. So that's the whole CRX 4-door. Hopefully you guys won't be pissed off anymore, for those who are, because some people are just mad. Why you put CRX in your hatch or in your 4-door? It's not a CRX. Yes, it's not a CRX. I get it. I know. Like, calm down. So is your car. Your car's not Betsy. Betsy's some freaking white girl that live in a suburban somewhere. I don't know. I'm not racist, by the way. I'm just saying. Just trying to make a point. So yeah, so that's that. And I think I pretty much covered the whole walk around. Even though I wasn't really walking around, but I think I got it all. If I miss anything, I don't know. I guess ask me a question in the comment box. I'll try to answer whatever I didn't answer already. But please don't ask too much of detail, because I hate when I have to type detail. I haven't had enough time explaining it, more of it to type it. So there it is, guys. Thank you. No thanks to you, plane. Shut up. And that's it. That's a wrap. Damn, I just recorded an hour and some change, and I'm gonna have to edit all that. Damn it. Hope I could cut that down to at least, I don't know, 20 minutes. Yeah, by the way, I know my videos are really, really long, but I don't know. I like to show everything. All right, have a good day, guys. See you later. So one of the things that a lot of people really like about this car is the, I'll tell you what I don't like is them damn planes going by interrupting me. Shit. Anyway, so, wait, let me answer this text. My friend texted me and I didn't reply yet. Oh, 8 minutes ago and half an hour ago. Damn, Gavin. So no one talks to me. My mom said she misses you. LOL. She said, where's that black man? I haven't seen him in a while. Oh, that's funny. I'll come by in a little bit. Let's, LOL. Tell her I miss her too. LOL. Okay, next text. On my phone, what? Hey, get a Dropbox. No, not on your phone. No. Just Google it. Just Google it. Okay, back to the walk around. Oh God. So, I have real bad phone etiquette. I don't call much. I don't text properly. I don't answer messages very well. Oh damn it! Here goes the phone again.